Tēnā tātou katoa, no Inorangi aho, kei otatahi aho e noho ana, ko Jess tōku ingoa, tēnā katoa, tēnā katoa, tēnā katoa tātou. Kia ora everyone, my name is Jessica Halsey, I'm the Engagement Services Manager at EOS Ecology, and I'm the Regional Manager for the Wai Connection programme. I was going to kick right into it and with my programme, but with my presentation, but since I've been sitting here listening to everyone talking, and watching everyone arrive, this feels like such a big moment for me because I've pretty much come to every Wānanga since I was allowed to go to them. So you've all seen a lot of me. And I think I've been in Pat and Lorna and Kim's ears since day one, being like, you should come to Christchurch. It's way better than Christchurch. Why are you coming to Christchurch? And it's just so big to finally have you all here and see you all here and see all your smiley faces and look how stunning it is, and I'm just really happy. And those of you who know me know that at some point in the next 3 days I'm going to cry. And it's because I'm so happy, it's not because I'm sad. I always get emotional at these sorts of things. There's so many powerful voices coming together. It's just, I'm really proud of our team. I'm really proud of all of you guys. I just think we're ace. And it's so nice that you're all here. So the team at EOS Ecology have been working hard doing regional delivery for the Wai Connection programme in the Waitaha region and supporting the wider provider organisations as a national technical support team. Our regional facing team is made up of myself and our team of coordinators, Brian Inwards, Courtney Bosse and Helena Quilter. And our team is supported on the ground by the science technical team, which I'm really happy are here with us today. So the science technical team are buzzing around today. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, it takes a village. Well, our delivery in Waitaha, that certainly is the case. And we lean heavily on our village to ensure that we can give the best support possible for our groups across the region. There are a few people missing in this picture who've joined us later on, and one person who I've been told, one member of the picture who apparently is not allowed back in the office again, but I don't know what they did. Is it Alfie in the middle? I think Erin's just jealous because Alfie's not his dog. So as you can all appreciate, and as you all know, this programme didn't start with the on-the-ground support. It began with kōrero. It began with kilometres and kilometres in the car, meeting groups and people up and down Waitaha. For any of you who've seen the Focus Catch-Up Map series for any of our region, you'll see the large amount of photos that we use for that areas, those resources. And I just wanted to highlight here that a 5-hour journey down to Hariri when it began stood in the region about 8 to 9 hours, as Shelley needed to get out at every point along the way and take photos. So there is now a strict rule that when we go down south, Shelley is not allowed to take photos. But it's meant that we've got an amazing catalogue of images up and down the whole of the region. During that time, we presented to water zone committees, I presented directly to the ECAN councillors, there were many Zoom calls, many cups of tea, and we finally started to paint a picture of how the Wai Connection would fit into our region. As you're all aware, the first stage gate for our delivery of the Wai Connection programme was the regional hui. We all know this wasn't just a tick box activity, and for us in Canterbury, it was a chance to bring together, it was a chance to bring together all of the voices from all over our region and map out in detail where there was and wasn't support. Instead of just asking what could we, EOS Ecology, do to support catchment groups, we asked what everyone in the room could do as well. We looked at where the gaps were, the opportunities, what was going well, and what needed some extra work. We finished the day with more than just a list of things for us to do, but with a roadmap of how each person in the room can make a difference across Waitaha and beyond. From the regional hui, we began work on the second stage gates, the regional needs assessment and tailored package of support. The regional needs assessment gave an opportunity for us to present all of the work that we've been doing to date, put it down in a very big document, and just talk about what we'd learned in our region. And then the tailored package of support broke down how we plan to support those individual groups. And we actually created our tailored package of support in partnership with our regional working group, one member who is here today, Philippa Gardner from Environment Canterbury. I'm now going to take this opportunity just to highlight some of the mahi. As I'm sure you're all aware, I could probably stand up here for about 9 hours. and talk about all of the stuff that's gone on in our region. But from our tailored package of support, we had our 15 original groups. Now within these 15 groups, some of them are an individual catchment group, for example the Jed River Catchment Project. Others are larger collectives that bring together a multitude of catchment community group action across the whole of their region. For example, the Waimakere Landcare Trust, and the Community Waterway Partnership based in Christchurch, which supports the community groups across the whole of Waitaha. In North Canterbury, I want to highlight our partnership with the Jed River Catchment Project. This group was highlighted to us very early on, and in fact at our regional hui I read out a letter from an amazing person called Nook about the importance of us supporting the Jed River Catchment Project and being able to go in and lift up the mahi that they were doing. We helped them with their successful Waitaha Fund application and are helping them now to develop their water quality monitoring plan. We ran one of our Focus Catchment Map series workshops with the group, a small-scale session, which just had the group in a room with the maps all over the tables talking about it. And this then led to many detailed conversations and new ideas about where the group could focus their work. At the Chevy AMP show, so we went to as many AMP shows as we possibly could do this year. The team may hate me for making that suggestion at the beginning, but the outcome has been fantastic. And each one was very different. Now the Chevy AMP show, the group said, we'll come along and we'll help out as well, we might bring some stuff. So we arrived, set up the tent as we were expecting to, wait for them to arrive. They turned up bright and early with a car full of trees, with soft toy birds they filled the tent with. They had a sign-up sheet and a competition for people to join the group, and I believe it was to win a massage. Yeah. They made the stall completely their own, and it was really fantastic to be able to be in there with them, but also stand back and let them lead the conversation. It was a very, very proud moment for us, being able to just stand back and hear them talk completely confidently about the map resource that was up on the wall and what they'd learned from it, and community groups, like the rest of the community, coming up and talking to them, and then confidently being able to explain what the map series was showing. The follow-on from that was again another amazing highlight, was our Get to Know the Jed Day, which I have to say was a very well organised day from Brighton Woods. She fit many things into one day, but it all just flowed so beautifully. We ran a GIS workshop for the year 11 and 12 students, a Streamside Nature Agents programme in the Jed, and followed up with another Focus Catchment Map series, a workshop which the group requested to invite other members of the community along as an opportunity to share what they'd learned. There were some interesting conversations that came out of it, and they'd actually invited along people who'd objected to the project when it had first started. But it was just a fantastic workshop. The conversations that came out of it were brilliant, and the future work that's going to be going on is just fantastic. And we really look forward to the opportunity to continue supporting the group. And I know Brian will desperately want me to say this, we just love them. They're just so lovely. And we were hoping John was going to come here today, but he said, I can't come to a porphyry because I don't own any trousers. And I just think that's the most wholesome thing in the world. Another nod to this region is the Kaikoura Water Zone Committee. I'm not going to go into too much detail with this group, but we worked a lot with the zone committees up and down Canterbury, but we saw that there was a good opportunity with this one to hopefully bring the focus from, instead of just onto the moana, into the awa as well, as it feeds so directly into the water, into the ocean, that everyone in that region cares so much about. And they absolutely love the Focus Catchment Map Series workshop. It's the joy of working with the zone committee and having so many different people within that space. And to the point where in that map series we had members hiding the maps under their chairs so they could be the ones to get to take them home with them, as we only gave 3 of them, 3 for them to keep. Then we're moving into mid-Canterbury, so I split this into Banks Peninsula and then Christchurch and the surrounding area. So within the Banks Peninsula, we have been, well, I am personally so happy to be back here in Onuku. It's the 3rd time our team's come here as part of the Wānanga, and we've got an amazing, it's not on the slide right now, but we've got an amazing picture of us sat out on the bench over there as the sun was setting over the harbour, and it's still like, when that memory pops up on my calendar, it still just brings me so much joy. So it's been just over a year since we first started supporting Debbie and the team at Ornuku, and I just wanted to say, Debbie, thank you for all your mahi to date. We have truly loved getting to work with you, and we look forward to all the other ways we can contribute to this partnership. We just think you're fantastic. At the previous Wainanga, we ran stream surveys along with Chanel Toms, who's the Motoranga Maori expert from Environment Canterbury. We looked at freshwater invertebrate sampling, water quality monitoring, and the Motoranga attributes. We also ran a workshop with the Aparoa Focus Catchment Map series that was presented at the last Wainanga. And it's great to see how this support is helping to lift the mahi going on. The Aparoa Focus Catchment Map series is one of the ones that's on display here, so if you'd like to have a look, please do. Tomorrow you'll get an opportunity to hear from Josh and James from the Banks Peninsula Conservation Trust, so I won't go into too much detail about the mahi that they're doing. But what we've really enjoyed is being able to offer that freshwater lens to the biodiversity work that they are doing, and the support they're giving landowners across the peninsula. So we're just adding another tool to their toolbox. Another wee highlight is the Wairua Mahinga Kai catchment group. They have been wanting to learn and develop their monitoring to be at the same standard as is required by Environment Canterbury and those who are demanding more knowledge about that area. So our team has led monitoring training to get them up to the point where they're now going out, and they ran and did their first solo monitoring the other day without the help of our team, which, let's be honest, that's where we all want to be. We want to help people get started, and we want to step back and let them lead the mahi. Within Christchurch and surrounds, we've been working with the Community Waterway Partnership, so the reason why we came in here was just to help at that steering group level. Georgina was struggling with the amount of requirements that were coming from the CWP, and Courtney was able to come in and just help her with some key admin tasks, but also events and workshops and things that we could lead for the region. A highlight for us within this area would be the work we've been doing with the Upper Waikato Catchment Collective. Again, they're doing water quality monitoring. They're one of the groups that receive the Waitaha funds as well. And we're trying to, all of the groups that receive the funding through the Waitaha funds, we're trying to help them get to their monitoring to the same standard. And they use the Focus Catchment Map series to help them identify which gaps were missing in council data. Every time the pictures come up, I just get really excited and can't wait to tell you all about it. South Canterbury region involved, as I said, there's a lot of driving around, so you'd expect the support there to not be as heavy because we need to be up and down so often. But I believe Helena has spent so much time now down in South Canterbury that she can probably give you a detailed map of every single pie shop that exists in the area and which ones were the best ones to go to. We've been working really closely recently with the Arowhenua Native Nursery, and Felicity is here with us today. I don't know if I can see her right now. There she is, waving over there. So the Arowhenua Native Nursery, they are another Jobs for Nature funded project. Their focus was on, obviously, with the native plants, and we came along and they wanted to understand more what was going on with the freshwater environment that they were planting along. So Helena and the EOS Ecology team have been running freshwater monitoring training with them, so they can now add that to the skills that they've got and now get a better understanding of what impacts their planting is happening on the waterways in which they're planting alongside. Burke's Pass, when they first came across as someone for us to support, we weren't entirely sure if there was a way for us to be able to lift the mahi that they were doing, as they were focused on the heritage sites that they were working in. But what we learned is that they had spent 30 years growing their, 40? Longer than Helen has been alive. We won't speculate. But they've been planting and restoring the top of this catchment entirely on their own. They've been growing the plants entirely themselves. They've changed the way that this area looks. And now the top of this river is just the most beautiful spot you've ever seen. And they were just desperate to know what was going on in the waterway at the site where they were doing so much work. So we've been going down regularly and we've done some training with them. upskilling them a little bit, but really getting them that baseline knowledge of what's going on in their waterway. And we just ran a really successful event down at Burke's Pass, where we actually had representatives from South Canterbury. Oh,
Living Landscapes.
Thank you, Living Landscapes, who came along and talked about the mahi that they're doing as well. And it was just an absolutely fantastic day. And as you can see from the picture here, where you've got Nick, just this picture down at the bottom there, alongside the stream. The kids were so fascinated with what they were pulling out and so interested to learn what was inside there. There may have been some coaxing with the offer of chocolate fish if they were able to identify what was in the waterway, but the chocolate fish only went so far, and as soon as you spark their interest, they're in. You don't need any more chocolate fish to get kids interested in what's in the waterway. And finally, within this area, I'm aware of how long I'm talking for, is the partnership that is going on with the Temple and the Barkers Creek catchment groups. Danette, who is here today, there she is going to be talking a little bit to the work that Barkers Creek has been doing in that area. So again, I won't talk too much on that space, but I think it's a real credit that we can, the way that we started out in Canterbury, that there was conflicted views and opinions as to what Wai Connection could do. And actually what we did is we sat down and we listened and we talked about what those issues are, and now we're working so beautifully together, and the work that's coming out of that space, I'm just, see, I'm going to cry again, I'm fine, we're all good. But we're so glad, Danette, that you're here joining us today, so thank you so much for coming along. And very quickly, finally, I'm just going to nod to our last two catchment groups within this area, the Hakatera Mia, which I won't delve into too much, but they were fundamental with the creation of the Focus Catchment Map series. We wanted to work in partnership with a regional council and a catchment group to actually see how this resource could be created. So it wasn't just created by our team hidden away in the office. We were out on the land talking about it. We had a very interesting, difficult but beneficial workshop where we went through the first map series, took away what we learned from it and made changes to develop that. And then finally the Ahurria catchment group, we ran finally our fish celebration day, which was talked about in the Focus Catchment Map series but needed to keep getting changed because of weather changes and things like that. And it was one of those, you can see Helena here doing the electrofishing with Ollie, and we had buckets of fish, and we had experts from different areas coming along, and actually we could stand back and we could let the other people there talk about what was going on. And as someone who now mostly office-based, it was fantastic for me to get to come out, even though all I was allowed to do was take pictures. And our support has changed, our support has grown, and it's adapted to the needs of our region. So the key groups that we are now supporting has changed. Some groups that were listed in our original we're no longer supporting, and we've got some new groups that have come along the way. The opportunity to continue support is just, we could go on forever. And I can see Lorna's now got the clock being like, hurry up, Jess, you said you were in 15 minutes. I just wanted to very quickly make appreciation. As I said, it takes a village to do what we do, and we do have an amazing village back in the office. They're not normally allowed to come outside, but we did allow some of them to come along today. But our design team, our GIS mapping team, our science and technical expertise that exists within EOS, it's great to be able to offer that resource, not just to us and the other provider organisations, but actually to all the community groups that we're working with. And some of those resources are here for you to have a look today. If there's anything that you see that crops up that you'd like more information about, please come and find one of us. And if there's any Focus Catchment Map series that you can see that you would like to have a copy of, there is a sign-up sheet. Let us know and we can see about getting a copy of that to you. That's it. That's me. And my hair is much longer than it was in this original.